This video will show you how you can start planning out the locations that you're going to travel to on your road trip. Remember, we might kind of be in between these 2 days. If you're still finishing up your car shopping, that's okay, but you're going to be moving on to planning your locations soon enough. So I do want to explain this as well. So I do have my example here. I've got all of my cars that I have found, and I did choose this top one, the Toyota Sienna, and I marked it by putting in an emoji. If you want to do that as well, you can go to Insert and Insert Emoji. That just showed me with the trophy there that this is the one I chose. The most important thing is that you're choosing one so that you can start tracking your mileage and things like that. The first thing that you're going to want to do when you're ready to move on, your sheet is going to look like this. You'll have your cars there. But if you look all the way down here, we're on the car tab right here. We also are going to have a day tab for planning. So planning day one, you can see we've got day one right here. I'm going to start mine on June 10th. That's my plan. But what I really want to show you what to do first is don't just start filling in information right away. You're going to want to duplicate these tabs. If you click on that little arrow, you've got the choice to duplicate, and it will create a new tab, and this is going to become day two. So I can double click in there to change the date, and I can say day two. And again, you can right click on it and duplicate. I'm just going to duplicate a few days. That's what I suggest that you do. Again, this depends on how many days your trip is going to be, but you can rename them so that you've got a day 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, for my example, you can see again, I've got my cars here. I've got my day one. And this is kind of what you're going to be doing. I am planning to start in Middleton. We will all start in Middleton. And then you are going to actually plan to drive from Middleton to somewhere. And I'm planning to go to Mitchell, South Dakota. This is day one, and I actually want to put in the date. So I'm leaving on June 10th. Now I have used Google Maps, and I'll show you that in just a second, but I've used Google Maps to see that that drive from Middleton to Mitchell is about 491 miles, and it would be about 7 hours of driving time. I also have found a place to stay. I found a Comfort Inn and Suites, and it's going to be about $121 to stay there. And I copy and pasted the link into that hotel so that I can get that information as I'm using it. We also want you to plan at least one meal, and I do want you to focus on one meal. I found a good Mexican restaurant in Mitchell, South Dakota, and I did find the menu. I looked through it, and I saw that meals are going to be around $13 each. So again, this doesn't have to be an exact number, but look for a menu and try to make an estimate for a meal per price. You're also going to find a link. Sometimes it's harder than others. This one I actually found a link to a Yelp website that kind of reviews different reviews different restaurants. And that was the best website that I could find, so I've got that. But now I've got some information if I need to go back and find it. You're also going to think about things to do and see along the way. There's not a lot to do in Mitchell, South Dakota, but they do have this funny roadside attraction called the Corn Palace. You can see a picture of it right over here. And I'll, pretend that that's something that we will do once we get to Mitchell. The admission there is free. I found on the website, and I did link that website in here. It is important to grab some pictures along the way, and we're pretending, but this is going to be kind of how we show our friends and relatives what we've done along the way as we get to that stage of this project. On day two, I'll do this quickly, but I do want you to see days can be different. You can plan them in different ways. We're going to get up in Mitchell and drive to Badlands National Park. It's another 205 miles and almost 3 hours there. And I did find a campground right in the park that we can stay at called the Cedar Pass Campground, and it's going to be about $32 a night that I found there. Again, I found that website and linked it in. I did find a grocery store. I'm planning to just get some groceries and make camp food while we're camping, and I estimated it to be about $5 per meal. I did find that website to a food center there near the park, so I've got information on how to get there if I want to. Again, things to see, I'm going to be seeing things in the national park, and the cost, I did see that there's a $30 entrance fee, so I did want to make sure that I did track that. I didn't put in another link here to Badlands. I certainly could have. You certainly can add as many links as the things that you are going to see, and again, find some other pictures. Then I'd be ready to move on to day 3. And I did want you to see this too. Like, I'm planning to just stay in the Badlands on our 3rd day. This is going to be June 13th. Oops, 13th. And we're just staying there. We're not driving at all. There's no driving time. We're going to stay at that campground again. So that will be another $32. Well, we're just going to be camping and eating, so that's again that $5 meal for this day. And things to do, we're going to actually do some hiking. I did find a nice hiking trail called Door Window Trail and Notch Castle Trails that we could do in a day, and those are free. But I did find a link that would talk about hiking in the park, so I've got that as well. Again, I found some pictures that would be similar to what I would do if I was actually there in the park. And then I'd be moving on to day 4, where I think I'm going to actually be headed to Cheyenne, Wyoming. So I do want to show you, I'm going to use Google Maps. I think most people are familiar with Google Maps, but I do just want to show you a couple things. Once you get to Google Maps, we're all starting in Middleton. So again, you're going to start with Middleton. There's Middleton, Wisconsin. But to actually track out your path and find your distances, you're going to want to come over here to Directions. If you click on Directions, you can actually flip this, so we're starting in Middleton. My first day, I was going to go to Mitchell, South Dakota. And again, it shows you the path you're going to take, and it shows it would be about 7 hours driving time and 491 miles. So that's how I got it for my first day of travel. And next when we're traveling again, I can switch. So now I'm here in South Dakota first, and then we're going to head to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And so now it's going to shift from Mitchell to Cheyenne. And again, that's going to be almost 8 hours of driving again that day, another big day of driving, and 510 that I would add to my spreadsheet. As you're looking for like hotels and things, Google's a great place to start. You could just say hotels in Cheyenne, Wyoming, or campgrounds, or whatever you might be looking for. We are making this as accurate as possible. So we are leaving this summer after school is out, and you need to be back before school starts again next year, but you're going to be planning out a week or two sometime over the summer. So you're going to actually plan out. So this is going to be for me, skip over, I'm going to be in June. This would be June 14th that I'm looking for a hotel. And I'm going to check out on the 15th. So now I'm actually looking for realistic hotels there. I can scroll through and find what I like. When you see one that you like I kind of like Holiday Inn Expresses, you can click on it. It'll give you a little bit more information. And it's showing me that it would cost about $165 per night to stay there. You do have the choice to choose how many people are staying. I'm actually pretending that I'm going with my family, so we've got 2 kids. Oops. So I can click Done, and that would update. And you can see to stay at that Holiday Inn Express, again, I would probably be looking at a little bit more, $167 per night. So hopefully that helps. Again, when you're looking for like things to do and see, feel free to start at a Google search that just says things to do and see in Cheyenne or wherever you might be. Have a great day. Enjoy planning these road trips.